Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about variables, but we're going to talk about variables in a way of just creating a counter. So we just wanted to actually just count numbers for us and just in a consistent way, like it's going to just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in Scratch they have a built-in timer program, and you can actually see that if you click on this, and it just continually counts time. But that starts the moment the program is running, and you can reset this too, but we're going to actually use the variable to create a counter. So if you click on variable right here, you'll notice that they already give you a my variable, and we could use that one, but we're just going to make a new one. We're going to call this a counter. Okay, and we're just going to do this for all sprites. If it were a game and you wanted a counter for one character but not another, you could do the for the sprite only, but we're just going to do this for all sprites in this particular case. And so essentially what we want to do is just have this number go up 1, 2, 3, 4 and continually go up. And kind of a simple little thing. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to have that start on the green flag. So when we hit our start button, essentially, we're going to have it increase. And so the easiest way to do this is to create a forever. And then go to our variable and say change counter by 1. Now we're going to want to, to make our program, very usable and keep reusing it over and over, is outside that forever we should set the counter to 0. So when we hit the green flag, we're going to set that counter back to 0. Unless of course you wanted to set it to a different number, you could do that, and you could type in a different number and go ahead and set that. But we're going to set it to 0. And then forever it's just going to count by 1. Now there is one thing here, and I'm going to kind of run it this way just to kind of show you this, but we're going to want to add one more thing to this. But if I hit the green flag, it's going to go ahead and count for us. Now it's going to count incredibly quickly. We're already in the millions, 6 million there. The reason why that is the computer really is processing at a very fast pace. It doesn't actually run this forever 1 second at a time. It's running it very, very quickly and running through the loop continually over and over and over and over and over. And so that's why that number goes up so quickly. It's because that forever is really going very fast. And so the easiest way to do that is just go to the control and add a wait block in after this for 1 second. So in essence, when we run this, it's going to count time for us. Because you're going to count this, wait 1 second, count this, wait once, or change, wait 1 second, change, wait 1 second. And so when we run this, you're going to get 1, 2, 3. Now it's probably slightly more than 1 second because you do have to process this change by 1. But essentially this is about a 1 second counter each time. And now you basically just have a countdown. You could actually reverse this if you wanted to. So this is counting for us. And we can totally do that. If we wanted to, we could make this a game too. And let's say you're going to have a clock, and we're going to set this to 60 seconds. And instead of counting up, we're going to count down. And we're going to make it -1. What will happen in this case is it's going to start from 60 when we hit the green flag, and it's going to count down by 1, 2, 3, and so on. This is a great tool for different games, Pac-Man, Frogger, different types of games that you would put a counter on, because you would want to make sure that they only have a set amount of time to complete that task. So if you hit the green flag, it's going to start at 60 and then immediately go and do, and count down. And then you could add some other text to this too. Or some other code to this, is you could add another green flag. With a forever, you always want to use a forever if you're going to use an if here, which is what I'm going to do. Drag an if. And what I could do is use the operators, and maybe what I want to say is if that counter is less than 1, right? I could go over here to variables and I could drag my counter in and say if counter is less than 1, I want it to do something. And I could use like a look that says hello, and I could say, you are out of time, something like that. Now it won't run right now But what I could do is stop this and say, let's say 10 seconds. Now the reason why I did less than 1 was we're saying essentially 0, right? We could say 0, and so when it hits 0, it won't do anything. But when a moment it hits for -1, it will just go ahead and give us that. I'm going to make it 1 though, just so that we don't, so we understand that when it hits 0, it's going to do that. And you could go over here to operators as well, and you could say equals to, but I find that this is not as accurate. There's just a chance that it could miss that. So we'll count down from 10, and then eventually when it gets to 0 here, it's going to say you are out of time. And there you go. It says you're out of time. Now you could have this instead of a message, maybe a new background pops up, something like that. But that's in essence essentially how you could make a counter and make a, for a game you could give them a stop clock, right? Or give them a set amount of time to complete the task. And if they don't, the game ends. So very useful tool using a variable. Variables are just really useful for games, whether it's counting something like picking up coins for Pac-Man, or counting laps in a race, or maybe setting a clock where they have so much time to get through maybe a maze or something like that. So this is kind of how you can set up a counter in Scratch. Hopefully that helps you, and if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you.